Ryan, you're not a recruiting nuts and bolts guy. Like I'm not either. I bring on guys to inform everybody what's going on when it comes to, yeah, these are the 33 guys you need to look for. But in terms of the narrative, we know that this program has been a top 25 program for decades. It was elite under Chip Kelly and in spurts under Mike Bellotti. Mark Helfrich, obviously, taking the Kelly roster, goes to a national championship game. Cristobal brings them back after they slide a little bit. What's the sales pitch? Where are they going to get these players? Why has the recruiting just ramped up considerably to like edge of the top 5 in the nation?
Yeah, I think a couple of reasons. I would say maybe the top 3. Obviously, everybody from the outside who looks at Oregon as an opponent uses Nike. They say, and Nike's doing this. Phil's paying for this. It's all because of this. Now, that might be true on some levels. It's not true across the board, okay? There's a lot more donors than just Phil for Oregon. You can't put this thing together with just one guy's pockets, even at how deep they are. But I do think the Nike connection adds a lot to this. Proximity is one thing, being so close to Nike. But also, Nike does cool stuff. Nike does new things. Nike right now, I mean, I've got friends who work out there. Right now, they're designing the gear for 2024. They're basically coming up right now with what's going to be cool in 3 years. And they're going to tell you what's going to be cool in 3 years, right? So there's a lot of innovation going on at Nike. Nike looks at Oregon as a little bit of a lab. So they want to take Oregon, they want to use those players as an opportunity to kind of either try out new gear, try out new shoes. Historically, for example, Nike's come up with all different types of uniforms over the last 10 years. They've consistently renovated the uniform for the pros. Well, every year that they come up with a new uniform, Oregon tries it first for a year. And this is talking about like reinforcing the collar, the actual engineering of the uniform. And not to mention the material, everything else. So one, I think Nike with that connection keeps Oregon cool. It keeps Oregon fresh because they're always doing new stuff. But I do think the second thing is you're talking about playing time. The number one thing if you're a recruit is, am I going to play or not? And I do think that if you're a coach and you're in these guys' living room, you're not going to tell these kids they're going to sit on the bench for 3 years, especially now with the transfer portal the way it is. If the kid's not getting playing time, they're out. So I think that having a culture where you have young players play and you have them get an opportunity early is one thing that's a big selling point. I think the other thing is, and Kayvon Thibodeau said this, he said he wanted to get out of Los Angeles. This is a guy who's a number 1 in the country athlete. He can pick wherever he wants to go. Now, wanted to stay on the West Coast, wanted to stay somewhat close, but didn't want to stay in Los Angeles, okay? You can't blame him, right? So get a new experience, come to Oregon. Oregon is good, like you said, top 25, pretty consistently over the last couple decades. They're not going anywhere. Have been elite in the past. You've seen them in really heavy bowl games. You've seen them in the real good bowl games. Maybe not to see the success right, but maybe you, the recruit, could be the difference. So they're also kind of selling this idea of we're so close. We just need a couple more of you guys to help push us over the edge. So these guys get in their mind, hey, I can maybe do this. I can maybe make a difference here. I could be the guy that gets them over the hump and gets this national championship. Mario Cristobal is an absolute dog on the recruiting trail. We know this. This guy is an absolute dog. And all these guys underneath him are as well. They hit the recruiting trail hard, but they're getting a lot of results, better results than we've ever seen in our past. So now Duck fans are getting real anxious about, are these recruits going to pay off? It's great to celebrate Recruiting Day. Letter of Intent Day is one of our now favorite holidays to celebrate. But now is it going to pay off in September, October, November?
Folks, Chip Kelly produced a nationally elite program that came a whisker away from winning a national championship in 2010 that went 33-3. This still astounds me. 33-3 over 4 seasons in the Pac-12, and he was doing it with recruiting classes in the 15 to 20 range. Mario Cristobal's bringing in classes on the fringe of the top 5 in the nation. So this is going to be fascinating to watch Oregon football over the next couple seasons. Ryan Winter, Sports Chat 503. Ryan, we always appreciate you jumping on. Always love the energy and the insight that you bring us because we're geared up for Oregon football as well. Not to the extent that you are, but you know what I'm trying to accomplish here. Just love the football and love the take that you bring us.
I am as well. I'm super excited, and I would love to. I watch a lot of your show, Voice of College Football. Got to support it, but I watch a lot. You have great Ohio State guys on, and I would love to in the future maybe try to get something where we kind of talk and preview that game a little bit, because I love what the Ohio State crew is doing. Again, to beat the best, you got to beat the best. Isn't that what Ric Flair said?
Absolutely. So this is a great idea. I don't think that it's too early for people to get geeked up for that kind of game. So
Totally
maybe
agree.
we could do something fairly soon, and then we'll do it right before the game as well.
Sure.
Great idea.
I totally agree, because the Ohio State fan base is jacked up. And if Oregon can come out, go to the shoe, and just be respectful, if they can come out and have that be a halftime that's close, third quarter that's close, maybe make it exciting in the fourth quarter, then we're on to something. I'm not trying to talk about trying to have, whatever the case may be. A win is a win is a win, right? But if we can go out there and show up for the conference, if the Ducks go out and win out at the Horseshoe, it's national news. So that's going to be a humongous game. If Ohio State wins, it's going to be expected. Vegas will make their money, everybody else. But if Oregon goes out there and wins a game that they might not be expected to win, it could be just absolute bedlam.
Yes, you're the underdog and should be, and it's on the road. I get all that, but don't shortchange yourself. There's a lot of turnover of personnel in Columbus, and of course, they're just bringing in more 5 stars. But still, they got to play together and prove it. So it should be fascinating. Ryan, we appreciate it so much. You have a great rest of your week.
Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate you.